All right, hi everybody. My name is Bella Chowdhury, and my evaluation project is tracking student attendance with the School Refusal Assessment Scale, the SRAS. So for my client population, I am working with middle school and high school students in Hilliard, Ohio. And the problem that I'm focusing on is school attendance. There has been a huge shift in school attendance over the past couple of years, especially since COVID, that has led for students being absent to increase. And so my intervention was to help the 6 students that I would be working with to increase their school attendance, as well as identify what barriers were addressing them. And so, for my evaluation questions that really shaped this evaluation are first, what are the main influences causing the student to not attend school? And then, what interventions are beneficial in influencing positive school attendance behavior? All right, so for my intervention and to explain my rationale, I'm choosing to share my logic model that I created to outline this project. And again, the problem is really focusing on student attendance and increasing the rates that they are at school for both the middle school and the high schoolers. And to be able to do this, I took a kind of a case manager approach of being in the school as a school social worker and providing that one-on-one time with students. And so in our time together in our sessions, I provided different social emotional learning tactics, whether they needed coping skills to get throughout the school day, identifying those barriers, why they were not coming to school, and if there was anything I could help with that. Um, as well as, goal setting was a huge part of our time together. Um, and research has shown that, especially in a school setting, if a student has first an adult that they can trust, can increase their school attendance behavior, as well as that one on one intervention time can be really impactful and allow them to have a space in their school day to feel safe, to feel heard, to feel seen, and hopefully have that extend throughout the rest of the day as well. Um, yeah, and I felt like my intervention of choosing that one-on-one time with students, providing that support in the school would best serve the students I was with, compared to maybe running a group or another type of intervention. I felt like that one-on-one for goal setting and identifying those attendance barriers would be most beneficial. And then for my measurement plan, I tracked two different things. So first, I tracked students' attendance over an 8-week period, and I calculated their attendance by periods missed versus days missed. And I chose to do this because I had noticed that students were missing um, not full days, but they were either leaving school or skipping classes. And I wanted to make sure that I included that in the school that was missed because that is still some sort of avoidance or refusal for going to those classes. And so in Hilliard, there are 40 periods in one school week, 8 per day. And so for each week, I tracked the students' attendance on how many periods they missed that week out of 40. I also implemented an evidence based assessment scale, which is the school refusal, to understand the barriers of why these students were not potentially attending school. And this assessment scale is 24 questions and it's rated on a 0 to 6 scale. It's Likert style. And then the questions are split up into 4 categories. So, based on how they score and what their numbers are for each category, can identify the reason potentially why the student does not like coming to school or is missing. And those 4 barriers include avoidance of stimuli provoking negative activity. The second one is escape from averse social and or evaluative situations. The third is attention seeking, and the fourth is tangible rewards. Um, I did have some barriers with this measurement plan, and one of the main ones was that I was only in these schools 1 or 2 days per week. And with my time there, that was my only days in the week when I was going to be seeing them to provide this one-on-one intervention. But if the student was absent that day, that is a week missed of intervention time with them. And so that's a barrier to this because it's not something that other people are checking in on because I was the sole provider for this type of intervention. Um, yes. And then for my evaluation design, because I am using that case level style of the one on one intervention, and then also with the SRIS, I was using it as a pre and post design. So during the beginning of the 8 weeks of the intervention with a student, I had all of them take this survey. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, I had them take it again. And I was the purpose in doing that is to see if there was any change in first, if there's any change in reason why they were avoiding school, and then second, if um, their points that they scored lowered, and if based on how the scale is designed, if their score lowered, that would show less school refusal, which would also be a positive outcome of the intervention. And so, because I was using those things together, overall, I was using a mixed method approach. And then some threats to internal validity include first history. And by that, I mean there are many, many reasons why students avoid or don't come to school. Many reasons that can um, be impacted by their history of school or history of their family before any of my time with them. That can play a huge role and still affect their reasons why they aren't attending school now. The second threat would be the bias on the scale. If the student didn't understand the question fully, if they answered wrong, if um, they answered in a certain way to if they thought it would appease me, those are all threats that could indicate maybe a not accurate score. And then the third is a multi-intervention interference. And so, although I was the only like pinpoint person working with the students on their attendance, um, there was a chance that other people in the school, such as the school counselor or school social worker, could also be checking in with these students. So that also could be an interference if there's multiple different interventions happening at the same time. All right, so now to look at some of the data. So um, my line graph is showing students' attendance. Here on the left side is students' attendance 8 weeks prior to any intervention. And then on the right side is 8 weeks, the 8 weeks during intervention when that was occurring. And then I have at the bottom is the students identified as names are pulled from the top pet names in 2023, just for confidentiality. Um, and so here we can kind of see some differences. And then on our y-axis, we have how many periods out of 40 to show per week. Because there is a lot going on, I did break it up into two smaller line graphs to be able to see it a little more clearly. And so this is the first three students. There's no correlation in how the students are grouped. It just was a split 3 and 3 to help see the data a little more clearly. So for here, we see on the left side, Leo, for example, was very up and down. There was periods when there was weeks when he missed all school for the 40 periods, and then weeks when he missed 0. So it was very inconsistent prior to, and then during the intervention, his attendance or their attendance did not decrease, and rather it increased more frequently. However, it was less periods missed throughout the weeks. And so that is just one example of this data. We can see there are some like inconsistencies throughout. And then on the next one as well, these are students actually just by looking at the graphs ended up decreasing, or sorry, increasing the rates that they were attending school because they had less periods missed. Um, as well as Cooper, for example, was a good um, one to look at. They had missed uh, quite a lot in the prior to 8 weeks of intervention, really up and down, and then during intervention, hit 0 periods missed for 3 weeks straight. So there was definitely some improvement there. And then some more data. Um, these are showing their pre and post test scores. And so this data is really interesting, especially looking at how spotty and kind of inconsistent most of their attendance were for all the students. Um, kind of shows. So looking at it, I want to point out this student, right, Leo, they did not end up completing the post test. And that is because I was not able to continue intervention with this student. Even though through constant reach out, the student was not at school for multiple weeks when I was closing my evaluation and therefore did not get that data. But for the other 5 students, it's presented, and only one student, Daisy, did decrease her score, but just by 1 point. And then this is looking at the score types. And so, like I said at the beginning, the students were able to score into 4 different categories, and they had only reached 3 out of the 4, both pre and post. So in the pre, we have majority missing school due to tangible rewards. And then this little piece on the side, the attention seeking, that is extra because there is 2 students who scored for 2 reasons, which was attention seeking and then avoidance of stimuli provoking negative affectivity. Those are their scores were close enough in range that they were able to be treated and intervened with for both of those reasons. And then post, pretty similar, I would say the same reasons. However, tangible reasons went down a little bit, and then just more split evenly between the attention seeking and avoidance. So for conclusion, overall, I had found my attendance rates were pretty inconsistent with the students I was working with. However, some students on a weekly average were lowered, um, but for majority, it was pretty um, kind of up and down. And my conclusion from this is truly that there are so many different barriers and reasons why students miss school that happen outside of my time with them. And while I was able to see them, most of them once a week for 8 weeks straight, and being able to build that rapport and build that relationship and learn about them and help them goal set, there are many things that happen in their lives for all students that will continue to affect their attendance. But it does help guide to understanding the barriers. I think the SRAS is an excellent evaluation tool that provides us knowledge and a basis of where to start with students, being able to understand just a little bit what could be motivating them or not motivating them for school, as well as showing just the impact of weekly intervention. Um, and yeah, looking at my results, just continuing to understand um, that this project was resourceful, and I think it is beneficial for the school to see students' attendance and to see how they can help. I do think that um, the one-on-one intervention is a good resource. However, my conclusion might just be that it needs longer than 8 weeks. And I also believe that the time the intervention takes place is impactful. I did start this evaluation after winter break. So students are coming back in the middle of winter. It's not spring yet. And um, I am curious for further evaluation if intervention will be more impactful in the fall as students are just beginning school, to help them be motivated and kind of start off on a better start, versus trying to intervene after winter break after a whole semester. Um, but overall, I enjoyed my time with these students, and getting to see the data and understand how my intervention was effective or not effective with them. Thank you. Here are my references and my appendix with the scale.